Are you sick of feeling like you're stuck and that something is stopping you from reaching your full potential? Do you ever think about what it would be like to fly to new heights and break free from the things that are holding you back? Imagine that every loss was just a way to get better. Every mistake was a chance to learn something, and every task was a chance to grow. How would you feel if you could develop a mindset that not only gives you strength, but also moves you closer to success every step of the way? Step into the world of a positive mindset, a theory that lights the fire of promise inside of you, not just a mindset. A positive mindset doesn't give up and accept that your skills are fixed. Instead, it offers tempting questions like, what if I can get better? What if what I do really does make a difference? What if problems are just side trips on the way to success? Positive mindset adoption can change your life, according to research. It is the key to releasing drive, toughness, and, in the end, success. Now, picture yourself embarking on a trip that is meant to show you the way to this new mindset. Thank you for coming to the world of the positive mindset. You can find a plan in these pages for adopting the principles and habits that will launch you into a world of endless positive. You will learn how to turn problems into opportunities, mistakes into stepping stones, and feedback into fuel for positive through 8 basic lessons and a final unifying revelation. Lesson 1. Seeing problems as opportunities. Accepting difficulties and running into problems is a normal part of life. According to research, how we think about and deal with problems has a big impact on whether we fail or succeed when we face them. When someone has a positive mindset, they see problems as chances to get better, not as things to be afraid of. This mindset is based on the idea that skills can be developed by working hard and being dedicated. We can become more resilient, creative, and successful in the long run by taking on obstacles. We stay determined and work hard even when things get hard because we believe that our skills can be changed and that challenges can help us grow as people. We are more likely to take on difficult jobs because we know they will help us improve our skills when we have faith in our own abilities. Every hard job is a chance to grow as a person, not a test of how smart you are naturally. We become more comfortable with uncertainty and open to trying new ways to solve problems when we take on tasks. Even when problems seem impossible to solve, we think that if we work hard and don't give up, we can learn new skills that will help us get through them. Seeing problems as doable can help people come up with creative solutions. We can find a good answer or plan of action if we think about more than one possible option. People around us tend to teach us, make us curious, and encourage us to try new ways to solve problems. Having faith in our ability to succeed in the end makes us more flexible and creative in how we solve problems. Every plan that doesn't work teaches us something useful that we can use to find new ways to get ahead. Overcoming problems makes us stronger and better able to deal with tough conditions. As we get through hard times, our faith in our ability to handle them grows. Several studies in sports, academia, and business have shown that loss or facing problems can help people stay focused on their goals and handle stress better. When we master jobs that aren't too hard, we're ready to easily handle problems that are harder. Overall, having a positive mindset helps us see problems as chances to learn and improve, which makes us more motivated, creative, resilient, and able to do our best. When we face problems head-on, we find out how much we can grow and get better with knowledge and hard work. Challenges stop being scary problems and start being chances to get better at what we do. As we get better at one thing, the next one seems less scary. When we face obstacles, they push us to reach higher goals and keep getting better. A lot of the time, getting success and happiness is not easy. Everybody faces problems that test their strength and drive. But studies on academic and professional success have shown that problems and failures can greatly improve a positive mindset if they are understood properly. People with a positive mindset know that their skills and gifts are not fixed and can get much better over time if they set hard goals and keep working toward them. Seeing problems as chances to learn and grow pushes us to come up with new ways to do things, makes our brains more flexible, and makes us stronger. Dealing with problems head-on is the best way to reach our full potential. Seeing problems as chances to get better at fixing them helps us become more creative. Because we think there are natural limits to what we can do, big problems can seem impossible to solve, which can make us feel defeated. Things look different when we see them through the lens of positive. Big challenges are just problems we haven't figured out how to fix yet. We are now more likely to think about using a bigger range of new methods, tools, and outside experts. Try out different methods. This helps your brain make more links. We can handle even the most difficult things better as we get better at being mentally flexible. Seeing problems as chances to grow can have a big effect on mental flexibility, changing the way neurons connect and raising intelligence levels. When they face problems, kids and adults with a positive mindset have more activity in parts of the brain that are linked to greater learning. Getting through tough situations helps the brain make new links, which boosts thinking skills. Backwards events change how well the brain can handle knowledge. Understanding things that might not seem possible at first can show secret ways to improve our brain circuits. A positive mindset not only helps you learn new things, but it also makes you stronger and more able to deal with problems. Going through hard times makes us stronger and more sure of our abilities to get through things. When people get through tough times, they often feel more confident and brave when they face new challenges. A positive mindset makes people, young and old, more likely to stay positive and think they have more control over their lives, even when things go wrong. Their drive comes from wanting to get better instead of worrying about how well they already do things. The bad things that happen to us teach us something that helps us get better and hit new levels of skill. Challenges are what a positive mindset is all about. They help us learn and get better over time. We can grow when we set hard goals and face challenges that take us out of our comfort zone. Problem-solving skills, grit, drive, and brain networks are all improved by facing and overcoming obstacles. Challenges don't defeat us. Instead, they teach us important lessons. As we move toward our full potential, each problem we solve becomes a stepping stone that helps us reach our higher goals and face new challenges. Overcoming problems and failures that would discourage people with a less adaptable mindset is often what it takes to make big steps forward in areas like the arts, sciences, social justice, and business. People with a positive mindset, on the other hand, are sure that hard work can help them improve their skills. They are able to see challenges as opportunities for development because of this mindset. We push ourselves to grow and progress beyond our comfort zones when we take on tasks. By changing how we think and act on purpose, we can boost our drive, make us more resilient, and make our brains work better so that we can do well in tough conditions. To take on obstacles, you need to develop a gradual view of knowledge. Being mentally less scared of tasks comes from realizing that skills can get a lot better over time. It's comforting to know that as we push ourselves past our present limits, our brains will make new links. It is very important to change the way you talk to yourself so that you focus on skill positive instead of set measures like grades or awards. Second, we should see problems as chances to learn, not as reasons to judge. Some students might quit school because they find certain ideas hard, but that's not likely for smart students. That being said, both at work and in life, challenges are great ways to keep learning. We get a better understanding of things by looking at why certain methods don't work and coming up with new ones. Every failure is not a limit, but a chance to learn something important. Also, working towards straight stretch goals lets you achieve small wins, which in turn gives you more confidence to take on bigger tasks. Taking on tasks that are doable and slowly pushing our limits helps us believe in our abilities. When we reach small goals, we become more motivated to take on bigger problems. Every accomplishment is a stepping stone to bigger and better things in the future. Every time we fail, we start over at a lower level until we get each step right. Also, being around people who are also interested in personal positive can be a great way to get motivated and gain useful insights. The stories of veterans who have faced great challenges tell us that every problem has a solution that can be found by trying new things in creative ways. They show that you are hopeful. Overcoming problems needs the work of a lot of different kinds of people. By actively shifting our method and point of view, we can see obstacles as chances to grow as people instead of signs that we've failed. We can reach goals that seem impossible to reach if we see each new task as a chance to grow. Though it might look scary at first, something that seems impossible to handle can actually help us reach our full potential. 2. Pay attention to the process instead of the outcome. The method used has a lot to do with the results that are obtained. The process is the exact order of actions, methods, and behaviors used to reach goals, whether it's making the perfect cake, becoming a world-class chess player, or starting a successful tech company. No matter how good someone is at what they do, a process that is well optimized can greatly improve results, while a process that isn't optimized can greatly decrease results. The process can also be improved with the help of objective input. If you want to be successful at anything, you need to focus on a deliberate, positive-oriented process rather than just natural ability. A simple process spells out each step that needs to be taken to reach the goals. It's easy to find your way when you use tried-and-true methods that have worked in the past, like a GPS instead of getting lost. A smooth process depends on the advice and knowledge of teachers, guides, and experts who have been down the same path before and done it successfully more than once. We look at what soldiers have done well and not so well to make our processes more efficient. Instead of sticking to set methods, a dynamic process grows by looking at data and results. Real-time decision-making can be greatly improved by regularly looking at information to see what is working well and what is not. The process focused on positive includes steps for finding problems, which makes it easy to see exactly what needs to be fixed. When poor results are found, breakdowns can help people figure out how to make things better. Lastly, regular self-monitoring is important for doing each part of the process well. Just like how professional players always look at their skill, keeping track of data helps you stay focused on the process that will help you reach your goals. When these principles, which are based on study, are followed carefully in any area, they can greatly raise the chances of success. A process that is almost perfect is much more useful than depending only on natural talent because it gives a big edge. Also, a commitment to improving processes all the time frees up space very quickly. Even the most successful and accomplished people, like Nobel laureates and top workers, set up their daily habits and environments in a way that helps them grow and get better. It is possible for anyone to aim for process greatness, though, with deliberate changes in mindset and basic framework principles. Long-term success can come from stressing how important it is to learn systems. A positive mindset, which means believing that skills can get better with hard work and dedication, is more helpful than a fixed mindset, which says intelligence is fixed and can't change. Some of the most important studies on this topic were done by Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck. People with a positive mindset see problems as chances to get better, and they keep going even when things get hard. Having a positive mindset is what drives inspiration, endurance, and skill development, all of which are important for performing at your best. Noting that study shows that focusing on the process rather than the end result can greatly help develop a positive mindset is interesting. Knowing the step-by-step process for solving problems encourages adaptability, tracking progress, and repetition, all of which are important for personal positive. Being stuck in a narrow mindset can happen when you focus too much on results, like awards or ranks, because they are seen as fixed goals. Focusing on the process, on the other hand, brings out small changes and ways to improve methods when results aren't good enough. Breakdowns don't have to be depressing memories of our flaws. They can be turned into chances to grow. A process focus gives people faith that they can become experts over time with hard work and the right strategies. This is what a positive mindset is all about. Using better methods to deal with problems that keep coming up makes you feel better about your skills. Getting better at problems by using better methods shows that we have the power to get what we want. Keeping track of the process measures that help you reach sub-goals helps you stay motivated even when you have short-term failures. Focusing on the process also makes it easy to find teachers and other people who are committed to personal positive, which can help you learn how to make even bigger improvements. Veterans with a lot of experience can teach newcomers how to get past problems. They stress the value of taking things one step at a time, learning from mistakes, and staying determined during hard times. To level the playing field, it's helpful to define greatness as having a steady positive rate instead of just focused on performance levels. At its core, process focus supports positive mindset habits like being able to think in new ways, getting back up after a failure, learning from teachers, and taking on tasks that get harder. Improving our processes all the time is the key to going beyond what we think are our boundaries. It takes time for the positive mindset muscle to get stronger because it builds on wins made through small process changes. How process-oriented you are is closely linked to how much you master yourself. A lot of people want to be successful quickly and easily, but it's important to remember that real greatness comes from making steady, slow progress. To get consistent results, you need to fine-tune and carefully carry out a process, which is the specific set of actions that lead to outcomes. Concert pianists practice their finger moves for hours on end, and their commitment to their craft is shown by their stunning performances at Carnegie Hall. When processes are optimized, results are increased. It's easy to teach people how to focus on the process, which is good news. To get people to focus on the process instead of the result, it can help to carefully plan how progress will be tracked and to reward hard work by praising smaller goals along the way. A process-oriented mindset can be built by keeping track of practice time, trying out new methods, and finishing coach lessons. Instead of focusing on specific goals, our idea of success is to maximize activities that lead to positive. Putting in the work shapes who we are. Also, to stay focused and interested, it's good to mix up your planning habits with different things. Cognitive flexibility is important for improving processes, and drills, tools, and settings that change all the time can help with that. Make situations that need your full attention in order to get through uncertain situations. Make learning fun and interesting. Also, don't see failures as judgments that limit your potential. Instead, see them as useful hints for further study. Figure out exactly where the process broke down and which steps can be made stronger with help from a coach, more practice, or changes to the way things are done. Every mistake teaches us something useful about how to make the process better. It's also important to keep track of numeric process data so that you can keep improving and making things better. When assessing, Metrics can give you more accurate information than first views. Our process model is based on facts, which makes sure it has a strong link to reality. Take some time to think about the training clips that stood out to you after you're done with your positive activities. Visualizing and learning the best ways to do things helps to make habits stick and become automatic. In the end, the process is fully automatic and is considered to be excellent. The handiwork that goes into the process proves the road, even if it's not clear at first glance from the results. We can enjoy the happiness of daily positive by moving our attention from results to small steps forward. The things that happen to us in the outside world are affected by how we focus on ourselves. Lesson 3. Don't be afraid of failing and learn from your mistakes. A lot of great achievers see failure as a good way to learn something that will help them win in the long run. Their stories show a journey that goes in a similar direction. Problems at the start lead to learning more and improving methods until success is reached. Thomas Edison showed this mindset by using his over 1,000 failed efforts to make the incandescent light bulb as a learning experience, rather than giving up. Famous people of our time, like Steve Jobs, Michael Jordan, and Oprah Winfrey, have shown us that failing can lead to great success. Their lessons have taught us that we can be great if we keep going and keep getting better. New study in high performance shows that short, led failure experiences, along with help to recover, improve the skills needed to do well when faced with difficulties. In experiments, people are given jobs that are a little harder than their current level of skill. This causes them to fail a few times, and then they are given the tools they need to try again. Cognitive immunity training helps people with working memory, drive, creative thought, and attention when they are under a lot of stress, compared to control groups. This includes sports, leaders, and medical teams. A method called inoculation with failure can be used to awaken sleeping potential. The message is very clear. Problems don't show up as flaws that can't be fixed. Instead, they present a useful chance to achieve future success. Setbacks teach us important lessons, encourage us to keep going when things get tough, and help us become strong so that we can handle future mistakes on the way to success. We reach more people and make more money every time we go through a circle of failure and success. Now, businesses all over the world are open to the idea of failure incubators, which encourage safe testing of new ideas that are likely to fail at first. These incubators work with exposure therapy for anxiety. Conditioning failure labs try to change people's ideas that losses mean they are permanently bad at what they do. Graduated failure situations have been shown to greatly improve creativity and productivity at work, according to multi-year studies done at international tech companies. The biological and psychological processes at play are at the heart of understanding why failure rigor can actually make success more likely. We can make a lot of progress if we learn how to deal with problems, become more cognitively flexible, and find the drive to try new things. Before reaching great heights, the path to success often takes people through strange and difficult settings. It may not make sense, but having a positive mindset can help you be much more successful by seeing mistakes as chances to learn and get better instead of as proof of your limits. Realizing that our ability to understand is not set and natural, but can be improved through effort, can help us get over our mistakes and keep making progress in the future. Problems can be turned into useful learning opportunities by changing the way you talk to yourself, praising smart tries, and learning from failures. Turning mistakes into useful lessons is how you understand and learn. By changing our point of view, we can see failing as a chance to find out what the student needs to work on more, which helps them become more resilient. When kids are let down, those who are praised for their effort and hard work tend to get over it faster than those who are just called smart. Companies that look at their mistakes in a planned way tend to do better than those that only focus on big wins. Investors see loss as a good way to learn about the market directly. Smart scientists see null theories as a way to get closer to the truth. Adopting an adaptive mindset can help you get used to uncertainty, course corrections, and changes, all of which are necessary for long-term success. Design thinking is built on trying examples, learning from them, and then testing them again. Every mistake gets rid of a dead end, which moves us closer to making progress. To bring imagination into places that aren't moving, you have to be able to handle loss well. Adding innovation processes that focus on quick and low-cost mistakes to an organization's core practices can help it make a lot of progress. We create the necessary conditions by creating safe spaces that encourage trying new things, seeing failure as a chance to learn, and encouraging persistence. As time goes on, we gain the knowledge, skills, and confidence we need to deal with bigger problems. Building resilience through reasonable mistakes can help people handle future problems better, in the same way that we gradually push ourselves when we lift weights or run. Increasing the amount of difficulty over time helps us get past problems, and succeeding after each mistake builds our drive and grit. At its core, seeing mistakes as chances to learn can help us break free from the limits we put on ourselves. We try to make a place that helps people make big steps forward and be happy with their lives. Businesses and societies can make progress through trouble in the long run by having a mindset that is open to both loss and positive. Even though it might not make sense, seeing setbacks as chances to get better at what you're doing builds resiliency and long-term success. Realizing that mistakes are a normal part of learning can help you relax about short-term problems. Instead of being seen as final verdicts, setbacks give us useful knowledge that helps us change our tactics. To get over loss, you need to learn how to talk to yourself, learn from your mistakes, keep going when things get hard, and have a positive mindset. Negative thoughts and failures should not be seen as signs of personal flaws when mistakes happen. Instead, they should be seen as chances to learn more. Talk to yourself as if you were a teacher, helping a hard-working student who is excited to learn new things. Putting yourself down makes it harder to see what you need to work on. Next, look closely at the areas that need work to figure out which strategies or tactics for planning need to be strengthened. If you ask good questions instead of blaming others, you can turn big mistakes into lessons that you can handle. There is a lesson in every mistake. Pay attention to it. Third, don't let shame take over after a loss. Instead, make a conscious effort to get back on track with your plan to get better. Change your goals to include what you've learned. Using established brain connections to clearly remember past accomplishments can boost your confidence. It's important to quickly change your mindset in a positive way to avoid falling into negative habits. Next, make any process improvements that are needed in your next try to grow. Honor and enjoy the smart risks you've taken and give yourself a prize for your hard work. Instead of looking for approval from outside sources, keep track of your progress by focusing on learning new skills and abilities. Keep a sensible sense of hope. Concerns about flaws can be eased by using breaks as fuel to make solutions better over time. Setbacks don't have to be blamed, they can be used to fuel progress. At first, it can be hard to understand the hero's journey, but accepting failure can help you reach your full potential. Moving forward on purpose is the only way to understand the magic. The fourth lesson is to keep learning and getting better. Alice always did very well in school with little effort. She easily did well on tests and writings, always getting high grades with little work. Alice always got great grades, and her teachers frequently told her how great she was. When Alice went to college, however, she faced her first problems with schoolwork. The advanced physics and math classes were very hard for her because they were different from anything she had taken before. Alice was upset with how she did on some early tests because she usually finds it easy to learn new things. She started to wonder about her natural intelligence. Alice started to question that she could become an engineer. She wondered if she had reached a brick wall in her education. Luckily, Alice's friend Zoe saw how sad she was and gave her some articles about psychology. The pieces talked about the difference between having a growing mindset and a stuck mindset. According to the study, you can get much better at almost any skill by having a positive mindset and focusing on small improvements over time. This can be done through careful practice and good learning techniques. A fixed mindset, on the other hand, thought that skills were natural and wouldn't change. I think Alice could really relate to the idea of growing smarter through planned learning. Alice changed her mind and started to see the difficult course material as something she just needed to learn in a different way, not as a sign of how smart she was. She carefully looked at the areas where she didn't do well on the test and asked the professor for advice on how to get better at fixing problems. Alice felt more confident as she read books on metacognitive learning strategies and changed the way she studied to make it work better. She used self-tests, scattered practice, and active memory to really understand things. Alice was able to get excited about learning again after a few months because she had learned new things and improved the ways she learned them. She became more sure of herself with each new task, which let her take on even more difficult topics. Alice passed from high school as the best student in her engineering class after 2 years. She is now qualified to make patterns that are ahead of their time and push the limits of technology. Alice almost gave up on her dreams at one point because she thought, wrongly, that people could only be so smart. Alice's dedication to learning new things throughout her life helped her go beyond what people thought she could do and fully realize her huge potential. New study has shown that mindset has a big effect on how well you learn and perform. People with rigid views do not think they can get much better at what they do, so they stay at the same level of skill. People with a positive mindset, on the other hand, think that they can improve their skills through hard work. This causes them to continuously and significantly improve in many areas, such as sports and schoolwork. People with a positive mindset see problems as chances to get better. They keep going even when things get hard, and they use feedback to move forward. Understanding the connection between ideas and success can lead to useful discoveries that have a big effect. Your mindset can subconsciously affect what you can achieve and how much time and effort you should put into reaching your goals. People with fixed views often give up easily when things get tough because they think their natural skills are what hold them back. As a result, there are more distractions and change, which makes learning harder. On the other hand, thinking that skills are something that can always be improved pushes people to work hard and persistently to solve problems. Taking on bigger problems leads to the development of bigger skills, creating a positive feedback loop. The way people think also has a big effect on how they deal with problems and constructive feedback. People with a fixed mindset are often put down by compliments and small setbacks that make them question their self-image. People with a positive mindset, on the other hand, see these things as helpful feedback for getting better. Setbacks don't mean there are flaws in the plan. They mean that it needs to be changed. Veterans think more in terms of positive than other people. Our thoughts also affect the ways we learn. When they feel like they've hit a peak in their skills, many people stay in their safe zones and don't ask for help. But people who have a positive mindset come up with new ways to improve their skills, learn from experts, and take smart chances. By doing these things, you can slowly learn more and get through bigger problems over time. At its core, having a positive mindset lets you learn faster without worrying about what your genes might be holding you back. A mindset that is focused on positive can help everyone reach their full potential. A mindset like this helps people stay motivated, strong, and able to come up with new ways to grow and use their skills over time. This creates exciting chances for success and happiness on a personal and a group level. For personal positive, it's important to understand the idea of a positive mindset. This quote stresses the idea that skills and gifts are not set at birth, but can grow over time. Learning new things and getting better at things in a variety of ways makes you more competent over time. In a positive feedback circle, this makes people more motivated, resilient, and willing to keep learning. So, by planning how to prioritize learning tasks, you can build brain paths that help you have a positive mindset. Getting more information increases the possibilities. We find a lot of new ways to improve our skills through focused practice and new ways of doing things as we keep learning. Smart people in the past, like Da Vinci and Einstein, didn't just rely on their intelligence. They also believed in the power of constant learning and research. Modern Nobel laureates say that their lifelong quest for knowledge was a key factor in their science successes. Learning helps people make creative links between different ideas that go beyond just being smart. It helps people be creative. Fixed mindset myths can also be busted by learning about the science of knowledge and the brain processes that lead to skill development. Learning how neural networks work by using them helps build a solid basis for positive. Gaining knowledge about the basics of success can help you be more motivated to use them. To be successful, you need to know how people think and learn. Also, constantly learning new things and improving the ones we already have lets us be amazed by how much people can do. The advanced expert knows that there are endless ways to learn in any subject. They are humble enough to choose wonder over pride and focus on making steady progress instead of rigidly putting people into groups based on their abilities. To get to a better level of skill, this makes people want to put in more work and be open to new ways of learning. In the end, learning leads to real skill improvement over time. But changing fixed mindsets into positive mindsets through the process of indirect fruits ripening can be just as useful. It can reveal ignorance and turn problems into interesting challenges that lead to progress through knowledge that hasn't been fully explored yet. If having a lot of learning potential is all that it means to be a genius, then the options are endless. Learning new things all the time helps build a positive mindset and the skills you need to reach your full potential. Using learning techniques that have been shown to work in cognitive science and educational design can help people learn more. This process is open to everyone, unlike set intelligence levels. You can slowly get better over time if you focus on your commitment to learning, use effective methods, make the right conditions, ask people with experience for help, and keep track of your progress. Setting up a regular time and mindset for organized learning is a good place to start. Figuring out strategic goals is easier when you know about positive gaps. Every day, make it a habit to set aside time in your plan to practice. Remember that it takes years of hard work to become a master in any field. Make sure you keep your attention strong and steady. Additionally, use learning methods that have been shown to successfully focus on specific skills through study. Make informative outlines of different sources to find themes that link mental ideas. Break technical skills down into smaller parts. Work on each part separately by giving yourself quizzes and making the tasks harder. Keep track of your progress in a way that you can see. Give some examples of what could happen. Third, make sure you have the right conditions to remember things well and think deeply. Focus, memory, and ability to learn can all be improved by being active, getting enough rest, eating a well-balanced diet, and reducing background noise. Comparing your positive goals to how things are now can be a powerful way to push yourself to make progress. Making a place that makes people feel safe can encourage a mindset of taking risks. By using the tools available and having important talks, you can also learn a lot from people who have already made progress on the same path. Experts share useful information with us, so we don't have to make the same mistakes over and over again. It can be very helpful to ask careful questions about how to avoid making common mistakes. Lastly, don't count on outside approval to measure progress. Instead, use specific metrics that show positive. When you can, measure positive. Our charts are meant to help you understand better and give you positive feedback to make you want to use them again. Gaining experience brings out hidden skills. Over time, using tried and true methods on a regular basis leads to more and more benefits. As the mind takes in information and makes links, understanding grows. These building blocks let people reach their full potential. Fifth lesson: learn how to take criticism in a good way. Feedback is very important for helping us reach our full potential and make the changes we need to when our own evaluations of ourselves fall short. But criticism can sometimes have an effect on the mind and make someone defensive. Positive feedback, specific ideas, and helping people make changes are all important parts of constructive criticism that can have a big effect on personal positive. For personal and professional positive, it's important to know how to give and accept helpful criticism. When giving constructive feedback, it works best when it follows certain rules that have been shown to boost drive and success. First and foremost, the best way to give constructive feedback is in a relationship that is based on mutual respect and a common goal. Additionally, input that is special to certain behaviors makes it easy to understand how to achieve success. It's better to give clear, short answers than vague comments. Focusing on areas of positive over which people have control also helps them fight off factors that make them feel less powerful. When you give constructive feedback, you focus on keeping standards high instead of attacking someone's worth. Giving clear feedback helps people figure out what they need to work on and shows them where they can grow. People who are very critical can still inspire others by seeing their potential. Lastly, positive feedback makes sure that someone understands by giving them useful resources and fair accommodations that show respect for their own worth. Being self-aware, empathetic, and nuanced are the best ways to give constructive feedback. We put correctness and efficiency first and try to do more good than harm. How our advice is given and accepted determines whether it is seen as helpful or damaging. Every interaction shows a little bit about our emotional intelligence and how we connect with other people. In the end, how we take helpful criticism can have a big effect on how much we grow as people. Being guarded makes it harder to understand, but facing feedback with a sense of wonder, responsibility, and thanks can open up a lot more options. A Japanese saying says that constructive feedback is so important that it's worth more than a gem. People who are open to receiving them can gain a lot of useful information. A lot of study over many years has shown that accepting helpful feedback and using it to improve performance is a great way to develop a positive mindset. A positive mindset is the idea that skills can improve with practice and direction. It's important to get constructive feedback in order to see what you need to work on and stay inspired. With a learning mindset, getting feedback helps us make small but important progress. Giving and getting positive comments can help you grow as a person and in your career. For example, getting clear and useful feedback can help you focus on specific goals and plans instead of worrying about how to prove your natural ability. When you give constructive advice, you can learn specific skills that will help you do well in different situations, like on a sports team, at work, or in a relationship. Setting clear objectives helps people adopt a positive mindset and use focused practice. Clear standards for positive help get rid of vague ideas that someone is either talented or not good enough. Also, using positive feedback to improve certain skills in a planned way helps us take charge of our own measured progress. Getting more. Information and bettering your skills can help you fix flaws without making you feel bad about your self-worth. Doing guided exercises over and over to improve weak spots makes you feel like you've mastered something. We gain confidence by practicing and getting helpful feedback on our skills all the time. Progress is the whole of time, and it moves us forward with power and purpose. Figuring out how to deal with poor performance reviews shows how important it is to depend on positive paths together. No one can fully evaluate or fix themselves. Critical friends can help you get past problems by giving you useful advice. This understanding brings us together around positive goals and breaks down the unhealthy habit of comparing ourselves to strict standards. Our future will depend on how well people with different skills work together. Using comments to improve means having a mindset of potential instead of being stuck on trying to be great. While constructive criticism points out things that can be done better, it also acknowledges the endless possibilities that people have. By bridging small gaps, you can see huge distances and meet new people. Accepting shame, encouraging friendship, and showing kindness are all ways to make progress. It can be hard to accept feedback, but it's necessary to reach your full potential. Constructive feedback, when given with care, gives specific advice for personal positive. Thank goodness, when we work on being able to accept feedback with an open mind and own up to our mistakes, we learn important things that we can't learn from just judging ourselves. People can use critical feedback to grow as individuals by taking a strategic view, being clear about their goals, showing kindness for themselves, and creating responsibility relationships. The first important skill is to look at things strategically so that you can fully understand the critic's point of view. Don't be guarded. Instead, listen carefully for any truth and advice, even if the person giving it has a flaw. It's important to ask specific questions when you want feedback so you can find ways to improve. Remember that reviewers might not have a lot of time or emotional intelligence, so be careful about how you say what you want to say. Appreciate the sincere goal behind it. Next, use comments to set clear, positive goals that will serve as success markers. Instead of focusing on what others may have said negatively, you should focus on making real changes in your skills. Make an easy-to-understand action plan to deal with the recognized positive areas. It's also important to be kind and understanding when you criticize yourself, like you would a close friend who is going through a tough time. Instead of seeing your mistakes as signs of who you are, see them as chances to learn and grow. By answering with thought rather than anger, you can build a positive relationship with your inner reviewer. Putting yourself first is a great way to show how valuable you are. Lastly, you might want to get in touch with accountability partners to work with them on turning comments into real changes. Critiques can be harmful to people, but knowledgeable teachers can help turn them into constructive ideas for positive. They have a positive mindset, which means they believe that skills can be improved with focused coaching and practice. Unfair criticism can bring up deep emotional hurts and structural problems that need to be fixed with a lot of work. But in this case, being able to tell the difference between helpful feedback and hurtful skepticism is also important for learning what you need to know to work for fairness and positive change. We can reach our full potential even when we feel like no one really gets us, if we know how to accept and learn from helpful advice. Lesson 6. Be happy for your own and other people's successes. It can be hard to understand and achieve success, which is often surrounded by popular sayings but wanted as a way to solve life's problems. When we really think about it, success includes many things, like reaching our full potential, making a positive difference in the world, and finding happiness in living a full life. Instead of setting a specific goal, people can achieve long-term success by regularly doing things that help them grow in many areas of their lives, such as their mental, emotional, physical, social, and artistic well-being. To be truly successful, we need to use our best traits and skills. To be successful, you have to keep learning and improving your skills so that you can handle tasks that get harder and harder. Students who do well in school aren't necessarily naturally talented. Instead, they show that they can deal with problems, have a strong desire to learn, and can benefit from having a guide and having their progress tracked. Additionally, successful people in many areas say that their success comes from a mix of interest, mental models, and metacognition, rather than just being smart. To reach success, you need to be smart. To be successful, we need to be able to steer our feelings toward moral goals. Studies have shown that having a certain mindset, such as positivity and flexibility, regularly helps people succeed in many different fields, such as sales, healthcare, and athletics. Amazing things happen when people face their fears, heal from pain, and build strong relationships. To be successful, you need to know yourself and work on your personal positive. You can tell you're successful when you use your health and energy to reach important goals. Getting stronger, increasing your physical ability, and getting better sleep can help you keep going and reach your goals. Special forces and bands are two examples of elite groups that put a high value on fitness basics to improve their performance. When people are together, success is often measured by the strong ties they form with others who share their goals. These links are very important to human positive. Our shared goal brings us together. Working together is key to making something amazing. It's very important to build good relationships with people who share your values and who can help you. To be successful, you need to work on developing different traits that help you help others and be happy. We can unlock the possibility for personal and group positive by putting these parts together that are linked. North points in the direction of this bold realization. A mindset that thinks skills can get better with effort can be fostered by celebrating successes, according to research. Keeping track of small wins, helping others, and enjoying big goals are all great ways to stay motivated and encourage ongoing improvement, all of which are important for building a positive mindset. The brain's reward system is activated by recognition, which is what makes habits. Realizing how important it is to be acknowledged can improve your confidence and help you reach your social goals. Seeking praise is more important than wanting to stay in the same position. Celebrating success makes positive behavior stronger, which drives change. Knowing how the brain works and recognizing small wins and hard work can cause dopamine to be released, which drives us to keep going until we reach our goals. This makes people more likely to keep going when things get tough instead of giving up. In sports, you have to be determined to beat your own goals even when things get hard. We can speed up the process of brain positive and development by training and praising certain behaviors over and over again. Small parties help our brains remember how to do things. Celebrating accomplishments also shows that you believe in your own positive and development. Honoring business drive or student persistence shows a dedication to high standards and faith in the strength of hard work. This shows people the potential and pushes them to be bold and take the chances they need to in order to grow as people. Also, pointing out the accomplishments of others makes it clear how important it is to keep getting better instead of staying the same or getting worse at what you do. Companies that regularly highlight their top sales goals inspire everyone to work harder, compared to promos that only focus on moving people up once in a while. Clubs that work together and put in the work can get more motivated and build a sense of community that is missing when people, like star sports, get all the attention. An atmosphere of success is created by focusing on and praising improvement. Our brains, feelings, and relationships are all positively affected by celebrating positive progress. Recognition is a process that gives us benefits and helps our brains work better so we can form habits. Believing in your ability to grow keeps you motivated even when things get hard. By constantly highlighting accomplishments, you can create a culture that is focused on breaking barriers instead of staying at the top. Getting one thing done leads to another. It is important to remember to celebrate our successes, as this keeps us motivated and on track even when we are busy. It has a positive effect on our brain's reward system to acknowledge and celebrate accomplishments, whether they are our own or those of others. This makes us more motivated and strong, which makes us want to go after our next set of goals. Setting clear goals, creating awards, being open about your weaknesses, and starting rituals are all ways to build a culture that encourages big accomplishments. First, make a list of important steps that show positive in a certain area, like learning results, health goals, or professional skills. Break down data on accomplishments to set short-term goals that can be reached and help reach bigger goals. Personalize acknowledgements based on what the receiver wants, like public or private praise, thanks, or signs of appreciation. To improve connection and build community, encourage teams to enjoy what they've done together. Also, show that you are vulnerable and grateful when you are recognized. Show that you can make progress without being super smart. You need to work hard and have a network of people who can help you. Give people who helped you credit where credit is due by pointing out what they did. To handle the problems that fame can bring, it's important to become kind and smart if you happen to be very successful. Fame can make it hard to see the truth. When you talk to other people, it's important to really enjoy and recognize their accomplishments, making sure they get the credit they deserve. Don't try to get all the attention for yourself. Instead, ask them about their trip instead of making comparisons. Engage them in a meaningful way by carefully listening, asking thoughtful questions, and making specific comments about their accomplishments. One way to make praise a regular part of our culture is to make it a habit to thank people for their hard work and creativity at company events, meetings, and vacations. Use visual tools, give talks, and give gift cards that are fitting for the achievement. Having fun while working together to reach goals makes relationships stronger. A culture of positive mindset is fostered by regularly noticing success. Learning about neuroscience can help us build endurance, drive, and happiness, all of which are necessary to reach goals that seem hard to reach. Each step on the trip brings a sense of progress, which makes you feel better. Spend time with people who want to grow. Throughout her life, Denise has always had big dreams of starting her own business and becoming a businesswoman. She did, however, have problems with self-doubt and often worried about how smart and skilled she was. Due to fixed mindset views, Denise's potential was limited for years as she worked in business jobs that didn't make her happy. But Denise's whole outlook changed after she went to a personal development conference that stressed how important it is to have a positive mindset. Denise found studies that showed how skills can be greatly improved by using methods like focused practice, having a guide, and seeing problems as chances to learn. Denise began to see how much she could do. Denise knew how important it was to be with people who shared her values and were committed to her positive. This made her want to reach her full potential. She joined a meetup group for people who want to start their own business. The group stressed the value of working hard instead of depending only on natural talent. Members talked freely about how their bad projects had taught them important lessons. Veterans gave advice on how to evaluate ideas using quick validation tests instead of thinking about them for a long time. Denise finally got the push she needed to start making plans for her teaching business. In a community that supports each other, her proposal was met with eager support from other members, who also gave her useful ideas for how to improve operations and marketing. Thanks to the comments she got, Denise was able to make her model better by making small changes over time. After only 6 months of teaching clients about positive mindsets, Denise was able to quit her company job. As a result of the helpful suggestions from the group, she felt proud of herself for overcoming her limiting beliefs about herself by working hard to improve her skills. Denise's skills grew when she spent time with people who shared her desire to improve themselves. She saw the members as the people who would help her move forward. Our mindset is strongly influenced by the people we hang out with. Connecting with people who believe in positive and are ready to put in the work and offer support to help us improve our skills is very important. Researchers have found that our own successes can get a lot better over time if we hang out with people who show positive habits. As quickly as they start to spread, positive mindsets can change the rules of a group. Putting yourself around the right people is a key part of growing as a person and being successful. When it comes to how people interact with each other, positive mindset groups use good communication patterns that focus on slow change, guide support, and persistence. People talk about how important it is to work hard, use good methods, and make progress that can be measured instead of just depending on natural ability. Instead of just cheering people on individually, they are encouraged as a group to deal with failures and work on improving their training methods. Veterans help each other out by coaching. Feeling psychologically safe lets you take risks and be vulnerable, which are both important for personal positive. Leaders with a positive mindset also accept feedback, focus on the group's successes instead of individuals, and value different points of view. The company mindset can change as a result of this. Executives talk freely about a model that shows where people can improve and stresses how important commitment is for building skills over time. They draw attention to the group activities that are making progress possible. These actions show that exponential positive is possible. From a science point of view, being in groups with people who have a positive mindset can cause big changes in the brain that help people succeed. Over the course of several months, studies showed that students and teachers who were taught positive framing did better on math tests. Compared to the control group, they also had more activity in parts of the brain that are linked to deeper learning. The way our brains are wired changes based on what's going on around us. Being around people who are committed to their own positive and are willing to put in the work can help us find secret skills that we might not have known we had otherwise. This happens when we look up to others, get help from them, and are held to high standards in order to get better. We need to get in touch with other people who share our desire to help people reach their full potential. A shared mindset is very important for deciding our future. A person's mindset has a big effect on their level of success, but the groups they are a part of also play a big role by setting standards and showing them how to act. Positive-oriented groups, which believe that people can get better at things with hard work, make huge wins for everyone over time. But bad groups lead to a lack of progress and hopelessness. So, choosing partners, teachers, and friends who are positive compatible ahead of time speeds up progress in all areas. Before putting time and effort into joint projects, the first step is to see if possible group cultures are already compatible with a positive mindset. Pay attention to what people say about natural ability versus positive capacity. Take note of how work and plans are shown more than people's genius. Keep an eye on how people react when failures happen. Positive mindset groups give people the motivation to keep going. During talks to find a partner, be clear about your personal positive mindset. Explain how you try to see mistakes as opportunities to make your ways better. During tough times, rely on the help of your guide and use process measures to track your progress. Find unity in mutual progress. Vision leads to good things. You can also help positive framing when working in groups by focusing on effort, creative methods tried, and mentor relationships instead of just results. Change the way people talk, which helps create positive views. Show that you're vulnerable by praising people who learn from their mistakes. Always be networking to make more relationships with people who have a positive mindset. Customized help is available through mastermind groups and led mentoring relationships. Our paths only take shape in a world where everything is connected and dependent on each other. Overall, carefully choosing groups that are good for positive is key to reaching your full potential in all areas of your life. The words we hear around us affect us, for better or worse. Picking the right groups is the key to the amazing things that can happen when people with different skills work together to reach transcendence. At every big turn in your life, make a list of goals. At different points in your life, you need to set regular goals to keep your efforts on track and reach your full potential. Making a clear and simple plan for our goals helps us focus on taking small steps toward our own and each other's positive, which is very important for long-term success. Setting goals in different parts of your life can help you make better choices and grow as a person. Students can learn faster in school if they set clear learning goals, change their strategies as needed, and make plans for how to share what they've learned. Students who work on mastering the skills they need to show more drive and self-awareness in their efforts to get better. They get better results, which is especially important when you're trying to solve problems. In the same way, measuring our job positive goals, like how good we are at being a leader, helps us purposefully take on bigger roles and get promoted. It has been shown that athletes who have clear performance goals, like specific race times or data standards, do better than those who don't. Setting clear goals for things like speed, strength, or accuracy helps people take responsibility by giving them real ways to measure their progress. Writing in a log about your adjusted training, diet, and healing helps you make sure that you are improving on purpose. Sharing similar goals between people makes their relationships stronger and helps them work together to reach those goals. When you parent with purpose, you leave your family with a legacy of giving back that lasts. Even when problems aren't clear, makers set output goals to get better at being productive and making a difference. Understanding how important it is to measure creation goals, like sticking to a daily writing routine or aiming for artistic greatness through focused practice, can help you keep going even when things aren't going so well. Getting things done is needed to reach goals. Setting clear personal and group goals on a daily basis can help you make progress in many areas of your life. For change to happen, you need to set clear goals and work towards them. A positive mindset is the idea that skills can be improved with focused strategies. Research has shown that setting clear goals can help people develop this mindset. Setting clear competency goals and keeping track of progress toward them helps keep you motivated and self-aware, which in turn helps you improve your skills over time. In order to avoid getting caught up in our natural skills, goals help us focus on things we can make happen. You can make more progress if you have clear, positive goals. Setting clear goals makes it easier to focus on specific areas that need work and track progress. This helps move the attention from general worries about intelligence to specific steps for skill development, such as improving race times, leadership skills, or sales. Setting positive goals makes us responsible and keeps us moving forward when things get tough. Instead of an endless plane, markers show the way. Looking at data on milestone progress also helps build metacognitive awareness, which is needed to actively manage learning. We regularly look at how far we've come toward our goals, how well our methods are working, and make changes based on what we find. Setting goals is a good way to keep track of your progress. Every update makes you more motivated by showing you how you can grow if you work hard. Reaching smaller goals along the way to bigger ones gives you small wins that boost your confidence, which makes it easier to take on bigger tasks. Compounding wins, like marathoners who add miles over time, make us feel like we can do more and more. The job seems impossible at first, but as you take small steps toward it, it becomes easier to handle. Every success makes people want to reach even higher goals. Sharing responsibility for group development goals helps to encourage positive habits in a social setting. When things go wrong, partners are there for each other and offer support and guidance. A positive mindset can be maintained even in the face of resistance to change by developing strong relationships. Setting and achieving positive goals has a big impact on people's potential because they keep ideas, tactics, and social rules in place. To move toward gradual positive, you have to keep trying to get better. Having goals, even if they aren't written down, helps us stay on track and do our best in everything we do. Making both short and long-term goals clear encourages responsibility and helps reach key points for long-term success. You can make your trip through life better by setting clear, measured, attainable, important, and time-bound goals, being open to change, asking for help, and recognizing your successes. The first step is to use SMART goal models that are based on research and can be changed to fit personal and business situations. Clear, measured, achievable, important, and time-bound goals work best. Measurable measures help you keep track of your progress, and useful goals are in line with important things like finding your life's purpose and growing as a person. Describe your long-term goals and the short-term goals that will help you reach those goals over the next 1 to 3 years. Also, it's important to be aware of how things change all the time and how uncertain things can be when you've been living a long time. Re-evaluating goals on a regular basis in light of life's unexpected events is a way to accept that personal positive is uncertain. Set goals that are open and can be easily changed if needed. Partner up with people who can help you reach your goals, like friends, teachers, or communities. They can help you keep track of your progress. Make your goals clear, and then enjoy big steps forward as a group. Getting support from other people helps you stay motivated when you're working toward bigger goals, like running an ethical business or making an artistic effect. You should also hold gatherings to mark important events, no matter how big or small they are. Dopamine is released when you think, which makes you want to keep working hard. To make sure there is openness and responsibility, list accomplishments. Embrace successes and use them to take on even bigger problems in the future to boost your confidence. When our individual and group goals are in line with each other, we can thrive and grow throughout our lives. Setting meaningful goals helps us see the way more clearly and enjoy the trip more. Accept and love your flaws so you can grow. To reach your full potential, you need to understand how important it is to accept your flaws. It means having a positive mindset, which means believing that skills can be improved with hard work and help. Accepting flaws and mistakes as part of the learning process has been shown to speed up progress by making people more resilient, leading to better tactics and the state of peak performance known as flow. Iterative mistakes help people get better at many things, like sports, school, and imagination. In flaws, there is often room for positive. When we know how our brains work, we can learn a lot from making mistakes and learning from them. This helps us learn how to stay focused and deal with problems in a strong way. Instead of giving up, networks start a united effort. People who learn to change their mindset can improve their working memory, which helps them make better decisions when they're under a lot of stress. Setbacks and mistakes help us learn and get better. When standards aren't met, there is also a thorough study to find out what went wrong with the performance. This study helps make a plan for how to make tactical methods better. Every breakdown can teach you something useful about how to improve yourself. Mistakes often give us the chance to learn and get better. People who are successful always try to learn from their mistakes. Also, letting go of the need for perfect results makes it possible for creative flow states to appear. We're not as scared of making mistakes when we take on new tasks, so we feel more at ease. While working on challenging problems that make you think and give you a sense of accomplishment, big steps forward are made. Getting rid of mistakes is the only way to keep growing and reach your full potential. In the end, working with problems in a good way leads to ongoing positive. Some of the most important things that help us improve our skills over time are having teachers and being able to change our brains. Letting go of our fears of being flawed is the only way to develop a positive mindset and become truly whole. Flaws can teach us something. Realizing how important it is to accept mistakes as part of the learning process can help you do better in school by making you more resilient, more motivated, and more likely to be in a creative flow state. It's easier to get out of a fixed mindset about your skills when you see mistakes as chances to learn and improve and as useful feedback on what you can do differently. To accept the power of flaws to change us, we can change the way we talk to ourselves, learn from our mistakes, stay connected to our purpose, and enjoy our progress. One of the first steps is to recognize and change bad self-criticism that happens when you run into problems. See present anger as a chance to learn rather than a sign of your value in order to shift our mindset and put more emphasis on the possibility for personal positive. Instead of focusing on negative thoughts about yourself, ask deep questions about what you can learn from each mistake. Next, look closely at the exact steps of performance that go wrong so that future plans are better. Each failed result should be seen as a chance to learn and improve by pointing out the exact areas that need more help or attention. Problems are often where new discoveries are made. Also, remembering the main goal and vision can help you stay motivated even when you run into short-term problems. It can help you stay inspired and enthusiastic when you keep thinking about why you are taking on a task, especially when things get hard. Seeing the bigger picture and how our problems fit into it can help us stay determined and inspired. Creating special practices to mark important steps along the way to your goals can also be helpful. These steps can be small wins that happen every day or big successes that serve as major standards. There is evidence from neuroscience that when we strongly reward behaviors that help positive, it changes the brain's neural patterns in ways that lead to success over time. At its core, accepting flaws can help build endurance, drive, adaptability, and a state of flow that are all important for long-term success. We have more freedom to move forward when we stop trying to be perfect. Accepting that you aren't perfect is a key part of moving forward. During the Positive Mindset Plan, we looked at the basic ideas and daily habits that can help us build a mindset that thinks our skills and talents are always getting better. We become inspired and equipped with strategies to achieve great personal and professional results when we change our mindset and believe that our skills can grow and get better. Every lesson has taught us useful skills that we can use to turn problems into opportunities, focus on progress instead of results, learn from our mistakes, actively seek knowledge, accept constructive feedback, recognize our own and each other's positive, build supportive relationships, set meaningful goals, and accept the flaws that come with learning. It might take some time and practice to fully adopt a positive mindset, but the first changes in how we think and act will quickly add up and take us to new levels of skill. I think you should take a moment to think about the most important things you learned from each lesson. Pick 2 or 3 specific things you can do right after you finish this book to put these positive mindset ideas into practice in your daily life. When you have a positive mindset, you should focus on the little wins and the gains you make. Personal change generally takes some time to start before it moves quickly. This is important to keep in mind. But the benefits of putting steady positive ahead of set goals are very great. It is possible for people who seem normal to achieve amazing things when they have a positive mindset. Have a great time on your road to personal positive and satisfaction, and may you reach your full potential. The only thing that stops us is the limits we put on ourselves.